The iPhone 17 Air is said to be the biggest iPhone redesign in 8 years, and today I'm excited to show you what it's going to look like 7 months ahead of release. Yeah, this thing looks wild. Let's start with the obvious, the side profile. This thing measures at just 5.5 millimeters thin. Compared to an iPhone 16 Plus at 7.8 millimeters, the difference is striking, and this officially makes the iPhone 17 Air the thinnest iPhone ever, even thinner than the iPhone 6, which was 6.9 millimeters. In fact, this thing is even thinner than an iPad Air, iPad Mini, and even nears a 7th gen iPod Nano. The name does not lie. This thing is thin. But to achieve that, compromises were clearly made, and one of which is the cameras, or should I say camera, because yes, there is only one 48 megapixel Fusion camera on the back. But you'll notice that it looks very different than any other iPhone camera module. This camera bar design is actually a very clever design move from Apple. First, it just looks fresh and brand new. I can guarantee you a handful of you noticed it looks a lot like a Google Pixel 9, and that's perfectly fine. The Google Pixel 9 looks incredible, and this also looks incredible. Second, since this bar stretches across the back of the phone, the table wobble that has plagued the iPhone since the iPhone 6 is finally eliminated. And third, like I said earlier, this bar houses a single camera, but since the bar is blacked out, it sort of hides the fact that it has just a single camera. It looks sleek, fresh, and brand new for the iPhone. But how do we know it's legit? This image of the back housing of the iPhone 17 Air was posted by Majin Buu, which, if you follow me on X, you know the relationship that I had with me and this account in the past. But that's besides the point. What matters is that he got this from a Weibo source, and 9to5Mac has corroborated this with CAD files they've seen privately, so I'm going to take their word for it. There are a few other specs that I left out. For one, the A19 chip inside. A19 will be a marginal upgrade with a new 3rd generation 3nm process and the same 8GB of RAM, though there will likely be an upgraded neural engine inside to help with Apple Intelligence, including a new LLM Siri that will be more like ChatGPT that's coming in iOS 19. Up front is a new 6.6-inch OLED display with ProMotion and Always On. 6.6 inches is just barely smaller than the current 6.7-inch iPhone 16 Plus, but slightly bigger than the old 6.5-inch iPhone 11 Pro Max. Though thanks to thinner bezels and the thinner frame, the phone will feel a lot smaller than the typical 6.7-inch iPhone 16 Plus, despite being nearly the same size. The dynamic island up front will remain exactly the same as we have right now, even on the higher-end iPhone 17 Pro models, as we've learned recently. Though housed inside the dynamic island will be a new 24-megapixel front camera, double the resolution of the 12-megapixel front camera we've had for 6 years now. And covering all of this beautiful new display and front camera is a new ceramic shield glass with lower reflectivity and better scratch resistance, similar to what Samsung has implemented on the glass of the Galaxy S25 Ultra. The iPhone 17 Air will also feature Apple's custom 5G modem they've been working on for many years. Codenamed Sinope, it'll make its debut first in the iPhone SE 4 as early as next month, but it'll also come to the iPhone 17 Air this September as well. This modem will lack support for millimeter wave 5G and will only support the slower but more widely available sub-6 5G. This phone will also feature Apple's Wi-Fi 7 chip, codenamed Proxima. This chip is said to be very advanced, so advanced that it's coming to the entire iPhone 17 lineup, many iPads, Macs, and the Apple TV and HomePod Mini this year. This chip will allow for all of Apple's devices to work and integrate much better with each other. But on the topic of connectivity, the iPhone 17 Air will be removing the SIM card slot in more markets than just the US. Every iPhone since the iPhone 14 that's been sold in the US lacks a physical SIM card slot and only features support for eSIM. But anywhere outside the US, your iPhone still has a SIM card slot. But due to the thinner design of the 17 Air, it simply won't have enough space to feature a SIM card slot anymore. So worldwide, even in the places where eSIM is not widely available, the iPhone 17 Air will lack a SIM card slot. Now, all of this sounds pretty enticing. A thinner, cooler looking iPhone that'll really only come with the compromise of a single camera. But there's one more compromise that may be coming with this device. There are rumors that this device may only have a single speaker. Not just a single speaker, but a single earpiece speaker. This will be the first time since the iPhone 6S that an iPhone would have a single speaker. That sounds like a deal breaker, and for some, it may just be. But then I remembered that there was another super slim device that did this exact same thing. Back in 2016, Motorola announced the Moto Z, a device measuring in at just 5.2 millimeters thin, even thinner than the iPhone 17 Air is rumored to be. And yes, it had only a single earpiece speaker.
Where's the speaker on this thing? Oh, it's coming out here. Is that front-facing?
That's obviously not to excuse the iPhone 17 Air having a single speaker, but it's still worth noting that this has been done before. Again, this is only a rumor, but it may end up happening. All of this will be priced at the same $899 price as the current iPhone 16 Plus. And really, this will be a very clever move on Apple's part. Remember the iPhone XR? That phone sold incredibly well because of how it looked. It looked like the new iPhone and came in a bunch of fun new colors. And that's kind of what's happening here. Apple is going to be banking on the iPhone 17 Air looking like the new iPhone. With this new camera bar design and the strikingly thin body, it's sure to catch people's attention. They're going to want this device because it looks like the new iPhone. And if we look at some of Apple's other Air branded products, they've all done incredibly well. The MacBook Air is the world's best-selling laptop, full stop. The iPad Air has pushed iPad sales forward in 2024, according to Tim Cook in the recent earnings call. And now the iPhone 17 Air is going to push iPhone sales in big new ways. It's going to be a pretty exciting device. So that's a good look at the iPhone 17 Air. What do you think about this design? And will you be getting an iPhone 17 Air when it comes out in September? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.